You're listening to Monday Matters, a Principal Matters podcast production.
Hi, friends. This is Will Parker, host of Principal Matters, the School Leaders Podcast, along with my co-host, Dr. Jen Schwanke, and we're here for Monday Matters. If you're listening for the first time, we want to invite you to our other shows. On Wednesday, we have our flagship show where we interview amazing guests, and on Fridays, we do an encore episode. But Jen, Mondays are our place to check in and just keep up with current events going on with Will and Jen and our listeners. And I wanted to just spend some time talking about something I'm so excited coming in June, which is you are offering to Principal Matters listeners an opportunity for us all to meet virtually for an online PD with you through your book on a guide to conflict management. So let's talk about it, because this is something that when you wrote your book on conflict management, I don't know if you anticipated how many requests you're going to be getting to come in and work with people and leaders and their staff. So what can listeners look forward to if they want to be a part of these conversations?
Yeah, you're right. Well, when I wrote this book, I thought it was important, but I didn't realize how much it would resonate with principals, and also a lot of teachers too. A lot of teachers are jumping in with some interest in managing conflict a little bit better. And so, you and I actually did talk about this when I was writing the book. It's episode 384, if anybody wants to go back and listen. But the thing that I keep hearing over and over from people who want to talk about conflict is it feels yucky. I hate it. And I don't know how to make it go away. My counter to that is, yes, it feels yucky. Accept and embrace that. Conflict is not something we wake up thinking, oh, I hope I get in a disagreement with someone today. I hope I argue with someone today. Nobody thinks that way. But we can shift our mindset away from wanting to avoid it or eradicate it and start to embrace it, start to see it as the sign of a healthy organization, if, of course, we address it in healthy ways. So, there's three different buckets, so to speak, on this PD that we're going to be doing. The first is really looking closer at conflict, and like I said earlier, it will help attendees kind of embrace conflict rather than running from it, denying it, or deflecting it. And so we'll ask attendees to kind of encourage to study their current mindset, think about how they're currently managing conflict and whether that's working or not, and then think of impactful ways that they can improve how they manage conflict. So that's part one. Should I keep going, Will, or should I?
Yeah, because well, just so that if you're interested in participating in this PD, we tried to pick a time in the year where not all, but many of our schools are wrapping up. And so we've set aside a 3-hour block so that we can be virtually in the same room, connect with one another, but then really go deep. So Jen's going to unpack how to embrace conflict in that first session. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, and Jen, you'll address in your second session the nitty-gritties of how to address that conflict. What can people expect from that?
Right. I thank you for that. That helped frame it for anybody who's interested in attending. We will take breaks. It's not 3 straight hours, but in the second hour, we're going to dive into the anticipate, analyze, and act cycle. And this is something I developed while I was writing the book, and I kept thinking about my own weaknesses as a principal managing conflict and how I really could have done a better job anticipating it, looking at trends, seeing where conflict was constantly popping up. And rather than say, oh my gosh, this is annoying, why can't people just stop? I began to see that the systems or the environment was really ripe for conflict. And then that leads to the next step, which is analyzing it and deciding whether or not the conflict is problematic at all, or whether it's just an annoyance, whether it might be contributing to bigger problems, or whether it's giving people helpful skills to manage conflict on their own. And then the third step, I'm careful saying step, it's more, again, like a continuous cycle. The third part of this is acting, making a decision about what you're going to do about the conflict. And I really think it's important that principals sometimes recognize no action is an action. You do not need to jump in every time to save every person, especially if the conflicts that are coming from you belong in the tattletale category. If someone's just trying to get someone else in trouble and or stirring the pot and or creating divisions where they don't need to be. We'll talk about that, how to kind of identify whether it's something you need to step in. And if so, what that looks like. It might be facilitating a conversation. It might be overseeing a conversation. It might be stepping in and saying, hey, this is how it's going to be. I hope you'll all get on board. That those three steps, anticipate, analyze, and act, will be a lot of self-reflection, a lot of thinking about specific conflicts that the attendees might be facing in their schools, and what mindset skills will help the principal work through them. So that's part 2.
Yeah. Well, I'm so excited because in these 3 sessions where you're going to be unpacking 1, how to embrace conflict, 2, how to address conflict, and then 3, what conflict is present in your schools. This, who is this designed for? It's designed for people listening right now, because every person that would come into these conversations is going to have a unique set of challenges in their own school, Jen. And so I also know you're going to invite people to let's bring it. What are those things that you're currently facing, and what are those things that you're walking through, and how can we collaborate along with you and look through the lens that you're helping us look through in terms of anticipate and analyze and act. And so, for listeners, if you want to go to the website, williamdparker.com/guide, GUIDE, you can see a description of the sessions. You can see, of course, Jen's bio there. There's also opportunities for small teams and bigger teams. If you want to come by yourself, or if you want to sign up 1 to 3 people, there's a certain price. If you want to sign up 4 or more, there's another price. And I also included, Jen, just a description at the bottom of the page that if you're a school or an organization where maybe they don't give you an opportunity to book PD and pay for it right there online, but you need to do some other kind of invoicing option, then just email me and we'll talk to you about a way that we can sign you up for that training and do an invoice after the fact. But there's more than one way you can participate in these things too. Jen, anything else you want to say as we wrap up?
Yeah, just one more thing that we'll uncover in this PD is some of the complex, invisible power dynamics that can create conflict within a school setting. And we don't talk a lot about those because it can feel uncomfortable. But this is where we'll look in the mirror a lot and see, as a principal, is there a power dynamic that I am unconsciously putting on members of my staff? What biases do I have? What previous frustrations am I bringing to the table? A lot of conflicts can be boiled down to personalities, work ethic, and workload. And if there are some disparities within your school, then that might create conflict that you can work to make better. Again, I'm careful not to say eliminate conflict, because I don't think when human beings work together, that's ever a possibility, but it can be productive rather than damaging. And that's my hoped for takeaway is anybody who attends this PD will walk away thinking, okay, I've got some skills that will help me think about conflict differently.
I love that. Well, Principal Matters listeners, we would love the opportunity to connect with you. And so if that's something that sounds valuable to you, or if you are already thinking about other people that you're like, man, they need to be a part of this. Maybe they listen to the show or they don't listen to the show. Share that out. This will be not only an opportunity to just learn more together, but also to connect with one another in that learning. Because Jen, you and I spend a lot of time talking to each other and speaking to listeners directly through the podcast. But man, I'm just so excited about the opportunity to pull people together and be able to see each other's faces and share stories and just connect in that collaborative way. So thank you for offering this, a principal's guide, conflict management for leaders, June 3rd. It's going to be 11 a.m. Eastern time, so you can do your time zones based on that. But go to dparker.com/guide to sign up today. Well, Jen, Monday Matters is also a time for us to kind of catch up on what's going on with our work currently. I've been doing mostly virtual stuff as I've stepped into the spring, and I know both of us are looking at summer because you have quite a few things coming up. What's some stuff on the horizon for you in addition to college teaching?
Right. Yep. I've got some college classes I'll be teaching this summer. And then the things I'm most excited about are ASCD and ITSE's combined conferences here in San Antonio. That's going to be really fun. And then NASSP and NAESP in Seattle. So I'm really looking forward to seeing a lot of friends there. It's such a wonderful time to connect with so many people that you and I touch base with throughout the year, and they'll be in one place.
They will be, and I'm going to be there too at the Combined National Conference. So if there are any listeners who are going to be at the Combined Conference for NASSP and NAESP, email me or Jen, because we would love the opportunity to just meet you and connect with you. I'm already, Jen, starting a short list of all the different friends that I've heard are going to be there, and I'm trying to figure out where can we meet? Let's do something. Let's all find each other and spend some time together.
We should host a Principal Matters coffee or something somewhere.
Let's do something like that. So shoot us an email at will@williamdparker.com. And Jen, how can they connect with you?
They can find me at jenschwanke.com.
All right. Well, Principal Matters, as you step into this week, thank you for the opportunity to learn together and the opportunity to continue to learn together. And also just a reminder to listen to our show on Wednesdays for our flagship episodes and Fridays for our encore episodes. And please share this out with others, because the more you share it, the more learning we can do together. But until next time, thank you for doing what matters. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of Principal Matters, the School Leaders Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, would you take a moment and share, subscribe, or leave us a review? In fact, if you share it out with a friend, even more people can become a part of these conversations. Sign up for our newsletter at williamdparker.com for even more free resources. And don't forget to check out our website to learn more about our books, professional development offerings, Grow Academies, masterminds, executive coaching, and keynote presentations. Wow, let's keep learning together. And thank you for doing what matters.
Monday Matters.